former military staff of Reddit. What is the most valuable lesson you got during basic training? After you make an awesomely accurate grenade throw, don't stand there in self-amazement because what comes next is the huge drill sergeant tackling you to the ground. Everyone else pretty much covered it. Don't stand out, for bad reasons or good reasons. The best advice I can give is to divide the day up and survive one chunk at a time. Don't think too much, just deal with the next thing that comes at you. Meals are a great way to do this. Survive till breakfast, survive till lunch, then dinner, then sleep. Keep doing that and you will make it through. Private, why did you screw that up? No excuse, drill sergeant. The no excuse policy has served me well. Don't be the best. Don't be the worst. If you get sick and have to get taken off base to a hospital by your drill instructor during his poker night, he will get his revenge. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. If you're learning something, especially something that requires some amount of coordination of your body movement, go slow and practice slow until you can do it smoothly, without errors. Once you can do it smoothly, keep practicing at it, and now that you have some amount of muscle memory for it, you can go faster at it until you're whizzing through things that you would have thought impossible before. I learned my body can do much more than I thought it could. Be the fucking gray man and don't bring unwanted attention to yourself. How to survive off of 4 or 5 hours of casually interrupted sleep for 9 weeks. Also how to sleep in literally any place at any time because you don't know when your next time to get good sleep is. The guy next to you can make your life hard by fucking up. Anger? Compartmentalize. Sad or lonely? Compartmentalize. Fear? Compartmentalize. Regret? Compartmentalize. This learned skill has been a blessing and a curse for the last 38 years. You want your drill sergeant to look at you and go, "Who TF are you?" Don't stand out, whether it's positive or negative. Never volunteer. Those with power are allowed to have screaming meltdowns. Those without power must stay calm and collected. Never act guilty or nervous, especially when it's true. Embrace the suck. You're not getting out of a shitty situation anytime soon. Find enjoyment where you can then. You can't fight it. Sit in a pile of shit and smell some flowers. I learned where the limit of physical exhaustion was. Prior to basic I played sports my whole life and thought I knew what tired was. Between very limited sleep, constant PT, and nearly passing out I learned that prior to basic I was probably only at the halfway point of real exhaustion. Focus on what you can control, which won't be much. But what you can, do your due diligence and pay attention to detail. The rockstar super athlete brainiac will catch a stray just as readily as the fuck up. We're all in a rock whirling through emptiness. Once that settles in, a lot of the anxiety just melts away. Find your own meaning. Let others find theirs. Finding purpose out of what seems meaningless is a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life and put you ahead of most of your peers. Finally, gratitude is the foundation of optimism and can power staggering achievement. Recognizing what you do have is the vital essence of a well-adjusted person. Volunteer for stuff. I know many will say don't volunteer. However, you will gain experience, meet people, and usually get out from under the DS control for a few hours. Sometimes you get perks like access to things, soda, candy, phone. Back in my day. Admit to mistakes, take responsibility, no excuses. This goes a long way to earning respect. Not boot camp, but in OCS I once asked for alternate punishment for something. The original, and usual, punishment was to write an essay about something. There was no time except sleep time. So I went to the TAC officer and asked if I could have alternate punishment since I felt I would not be able to meet the expectations of the essay. The TAC officer told me to do 10 push-ups. He then said that I was first to make this ask and he respected that I identified an unrealistic expectation and had the guts to ask. Lesson: if it's unreasonable, ask for help. Alternatives. Don't think, put your head down, and do what you're told. You are there to check the block. The drills are too overworked and sleep deprived to give a shit about how you feel doing something. Be the gray man, middle of top third, running front of the pack, just behind the DS. Whenever a shit tasking comes your way, just say in your head, okay, let's do it. Just be a good teammate and don't quit. It's really not much more complicated than that. Being the gray man isn't necessarily bad advice, but if the TMSQDPLT needs you to step up, don't be a selfish fucking coward. Always do your best, but stay humble. Never volunteer for shit. Treat every firearm as if it's loaded. Even when doing weapon familiarization training on crew-served weapon with dummy ammo. Even if the drill sergeants and cadre don't. Don't ever assume everything is fine. Search Fort Sill 50 cal incident. Drink 2 glasses of water immediately before each meal. Never volunteer for anything. If you reveal that you can do an hour's work in 30 minutes, tomorrow they will expect you to do 2 hours work in 1 hour and punish you if you can't. So either take an hour to do it or never let on that you finished 30 minutes ago. 1. Have a sense of humor. Nothing will fuck you up more than taking things too seriously. 2. If you ever feel like you are struggling, look at the idiots that have passed this course and let that reassure you. 3. Don't take personal criticism personally. You will be getting beasted anyway, just go with it. 4. It's just a game. When you realize that, it's all gravy. 5. Attention to detail. 6. You will fail, it's designed for that. It's how you pick yourself up that matters. I'm in the UK, but the idea of basic training is the same everywhere. Don't fuck your mates to elevate yourself. 3 basic rules to success anywhere, especially the military. A drill sergeant in boot always said this. Show up on time. Do what you're told. Don't do drugs. I was told to never volunteer. Wrong. Volunteer for everything. Some details suck and some are quite fun. After a while, they leave you alone cause you volunteer too much. You'll learn whatever you need to when you get to the fleet. Everything before that is a check in the box. You'll know you did good if they don't even know you're there. Bring your wet weather gear. Even if it doesn't rain, DS will make it rain if they find out you didn't bring it. It's all a game. Some people can't go 8 weeks without beating off. And if you're in the top rack, you're getting busted. And getting busted means weeks of torment. He was Mexican-American and they called him a chili choker. Boot camp in the 80s. Speak when spoken to. Otherwise, shut up and just listen. Don't stand out for any reason. Don't snitch on anyone and mind your business. This is when people learned that if it's not in your contract, you didn't get it. Recruiters will tell you all kinds of shit to get you to sign up. If it's not in your contract, ranger school, air assault, etc., you're screwed. You're only as good as the worst recruit. Never pass up a bathroom break when you don't know exactly when your next chance will be. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, stand the fuck by. It is very fun to follow orders that you know will backfire. Wait until someone realizes. Pretend you have a bowl of popcorn and 3D glasses and watch as things go down. It's allied. I see allied of be the gray man etc. But you also learn allied of more useful skills. You join as a little boy girl and you come out as a bit bigger boy girl. They teach you responsibility and determination. First aid, taking care of your body and body. They also teach you shit traits, like smoking and heavy drinking, and also screwing up your back, knees, feet etc. You're there to do what you're told to. Any other way, and the system would collapse under the strain it's put under when active. If you don't do what you're told, people die. And they're not interested in the best way to do things right now, only the most reliable. Failure often kills more of your own people than necessary. About 2 weeks before graduation, the senior drill instructor, USMC, gave us some words of wisdom I've followed in the decades since. 1. When you go someplace new, don't immediately hang out with the first people who approach you to hang out with. Those tend to be the shitbirds looking for someone else to cause trouble with. Wait a few weeks and then the people worth hanging out with will approach you. If you're in a leadership position, observe for 2 weeks before suggesting any changes that could upset the workflow. 2. Learn the requirements to get promoted to the next rank. The day after you get promoted, start working on your next promotion. A bit harder in the corporate world where the rules aren't as well defined. 3. Open a savings account. Start saving 10% of every paycheck. Every time you get a pay raise or promotion, save half and keep half. You're already used to living on a smaller amount, so the half you keep will still be a bonus. The senior DI was FIRE long before it was even a concept. Show up on time, show up with a good-looking uniform, and do what you're told. The nail that stands up is the one that gets hammered down. Before joining, I was a shy kid that couldn't read a book report without stuttering and sweating profusely. Then I went into boot camp and pissed myself during one of the training events. Once you piss yourself as an adult and it becomes one of the least humiliating or difficult things you do that day, you kinda stop worrying about what others think of you. Don't fall asleep under bunk when you should be cleaning. Days are long, weeks are short. Basic didn't teach me many things, but my NCOs sure did. Always document all of your medical issues. If you're sick, go to the doctor. Did you hurt yourself? Off to the doctor with you. Hearing some ringing, get that in your medical records. When you fuck up, not if, but when, hold your head up and tell them you fucked up and there is no real excuse for your actions. The best thing you can do is own your mistake and wake up each day trying to put your best foot forward. Leadership will remember how you chose to right your wrongs, how you made a conscious effort to be better. We all fail, that's life, but when you fail, make sure you fail forward. Do not stop working out. Is it Saturday and you want to drink some beer and fuck about? Take your ass to the gym first. This one piece of advice will serve you well while you remain a part of the military machine. Get out of your comfort zone. Look at the smartest guy in the room, look at the most knowledgeable person in your shop, and try your best to learn from them. Look for a mentor that can teach. When you have people, or you're in a leadership role, they come before you. Is that eat you hungry? Send them to lunch and pick up their work. You better make sure every one of your guys are fed before you sit down to eat. When you get the opportunity, you cut back your hard workers and go job while they enjoy their well-earned downtime. If you find yourself as an E5, 6, 7 doing cutbacks and leaving a E4 in charge, you're a worthless piece of shit. Only do what your stripes and career can handle. Do not fucking drink and drive. I cannot stress this enough. There's so many options out there to get back safe, so you better not drive drunk. Always err on the side of caution when it comes to drinking and driving. Do not work yourself into an early grave for someone because they'll PCS and be replaced by a new person that wants the same thing from you. Take care of yourself and your family. They're the ones that are there for you through ups and downs. When you're at base and you think it's shit, go explore and see the world. You don't get cool stories by sitting inside playing games and complaining about nothing to do. How to survive basic. Don't be the best or worst. Keep your mouth shut. Life lessons. Shitty things happen that are out of your control. That's just part of life, but if you throw your ego and pain aside, you can usually suck it up and get through it. You are stronger than you think, and no matter how bad a situation is, don't quit. Persevere through it and it will eventually get better. Also, don't be a dick to the next guy because you may need them for help tomorrow. The ground is cold. Avoid sleeping on it. Stress management. Shit can always be worse, and is never as bad as you think. Shut the F*** up.